I have been on Redbubble since the start of last year, so the start of 2023. So technically, by the time I'm recording this, I should have been like a year old. My Redbubble shop should be a year old now. For today, I wanted to talk about some of the few things that I guess were my first impressions and my first thoughts and opinions about Redbubble, or just the things that came to mind while I was figuring out how to run the shop. Just a quick disclaimer though, this is not a tips and tricks video for Redbubble. It is not a discussion whether Redbubble is worth it for artists, and it is not a pros and cons video about Redbubble either. This is all just from a newbie's perspective, from a small artist's perspective. So yeah, with that little disclaimer out of the way, let's get into it. First off, a little bit of a backstory about my time on Redbubble. So on Redbubble, there's this thing that they send you in an email. They say if you upload 25 designs within the first month, you will do better than those who don't. And I don't think I reached 25, I think I reached 11 or so. And that was because I started my Redbubble shop after the Christmas break when I was 10th grade, so it was time to go back to school at that time, which I don't think was a wise idea to start my Redbubble shop right when school started as well, because that meant I was very busy and I wasn't able to really pay attention to the shop that much, meaning it got neglected for a few months, and I only got active again on Redbubble during the later months of last year, like October to December, I think. So yeah, I feel like it would have brought me more success if I had been more consistent with it. I think consistency is a very important part that I definitely did not manage to do last year. I'm trying to change that now. I also have some notes here about the things I want to say. This is the second time I've recorded this voiceover. The first one was very all over the place. Also, if I mention any sort of statistics or anything about my engagement or reach on Redbubble, that is all mainly basing off of the marketplace that Redbubble already has, meaning I did not share my Redbubble shop on social media yet, so none of the people on my social media know that I have a Redbubble shop at that time. So this was all organic engagement from Redbubble, which is actually the first thing I like. Redbubble already has its own existing user base of people who already use the platform, so in the beginning there was no need for me to have a very large following. However, I do know that things like these print-on-demand sites usually only really sell if you have a large amount of people already following you, if you're already famous. But still, Redbubble already having its own user base actually really did help, since I actually did quite well during the first month on Redbubble, maybe the first 2 months, where I didn't share my Redbubble shop or link anywhere at all really. It was all just organic reach from Redbubble itself. But yeah, anyways, the artworks you are seeing now are older artworks now. I've posted them a lot almost everywhere that I'm on. And these are actually the very first artworks that I made specifically for Redbubble. And they're very simple, nothing really interesting, I guess, going on with their design. There's not too much detail either, which was the intention. I wanted these to be basic designs, plain designs, just to get my feet wet, and I had planned to make more detailed designs, more complex designs, and upload them on Redbubble, but again, I got busy with school and sort of neglected the shop. When I was drawing these artworks, I was thinking, what are some things that people already know and like? Just so I could get a bit of a head start. And I already know that people already like cats. I like cats. A lot of people like cats. So at first I drew a bunch of cats and uploaded them on the shop to see if it would sell. And it kind of worked. The cats did really good. I even had someone requesting for a cat pattern at one point. So I think the cat designs did really well, especially during the first month again on Redbubble. Speaking of cat artworks, the very first artwork that I sold was this artwork. It's of a calico cat sleeping And the funny thing about this is this was the very first digital artwork that I have ever done on my laptop. This was meant to be a practice piece back when I first got my drawing tablet, and this is another thing I really like about Redbubble. Even if it's really older artwork, I can still take it and edit the sizing, make sure it fits the format that Redbubble requires, and upload it, sell it, and still be able to make money from it. That sale from that Calico Cat sleeping artwork is a very good example of that, since I made that like 2020 or 2021, and I still managed to earn money from it. And I got that sale like 5 days after opening the shop, which was also a really good testament at how well the shop did during the first few months, and I feel like if I hadn't neglected it, it would be a lot more successful now. It's not like I neglected it because I wanted to. I just got really busy. The profit margin on Redbubble though isn't really that large. By default, I think it's at 20%, and I think that's what I have. I have it at 20%, and you can increase it, but I do think when you increase it, it also increases the price. Don't quote me on that though, that's just how I remember it. Yeah, the profit margin is really small, so you're not really gonna earn much out of one sale. But comparing to the amount of work that you have to do, I think that's fair, honestly. Since I don't have to worry about the shipping, the customer service, and printing out the actual product anymore, since I'm not at a place where I can actually do that. And yeah, Redbubble does all of that for you. The only trade-off is, well, you get less profit per each sale. Then again, you just have to upload art. So that's also something that I like, but at the same time dislike. But I can't really complain, since again, I don't really have to do much. I just have to sit there and wait for the sales to roll in. And it's also really easy to upload designs and just copy settings. Copying the settings of designs that I already have uploaded really saves me a lot of time when I want to upload a whole bunch of designs. It took me a while though before discovering that, since I had to experiment a bit with the site. But yeah, once I discovered that copy settings option, I always use that now. I don't use anything else when it comes to uploading. One of the things I thought about in terms of my artwork that I upload on Redbubble as well is fan art. I had a few artworks, a lot of artworks actually, taken down during the first few times I tried to upload, because I didn't know you can't sell fan art on Redbubble. There's so many artists who sell fan art on Redbubble, so I thought it was okay. Until I read their, I guess it's their terms and conditions or anything, their copyright laws. But I didn't know. Honestly, there's so many people uploading fan art on Redbubble. I thought I could too without any trouble. But a lot of my artworks got taken down, specifically my Ghibli and Pokemon fan art. Those got taken down. And I did find a way to basically sneak around the system and have them uploaded without it getting taken down. But after a while and after a bit of my own research, I decided to just take down all of the fan art things myself, because at the end of the day, I'm still a small artist and don't want to deal with any copyright issues. I'm avoiding uploading any fan art for now. However, there is a way to legally sell fan art technically. If you create like satire or parodies of existing work. That's just based off of my limited research on copyright though, so don't quote me on any of these. I'm not a copyright professional. But basically, one of the examples of parody and satire that I have is this Starry Night with Cats artwork, which I didn't actually realize was an example of this. But basically, it's taking the original piece and creating something different, but notably inspired by it, sort of like that. This artwork, or that Starry Night with Cat artwork, by the way, was actually an illustration I made for a digital art contest hosted by SPEEDPAINT. I made a video about that long ago. Maybe I'll link it up on the screen right now. But anyways, I took down all of my fan art pieces there, and one of the other things that I had to take down too, since this is a bit of, for me it's a bit unfortunate, I had to take down all of the artworks for the artworks that I basically made for Draw This in Your Style challenges, since I had just realized that even though I made those artworks, even though I think they're very cool and I'm really proud of them, they contain characters that are not mine, and they're all from fellow artists like myself that I follow on Instagram mainly. And I feel a lot icky, like a lot more icky really, whenever I'm selling, even if I'm not earning money from it. Just having artwork that contains other artists' characters and selling them makes me feel a bit icky, especially if that specific artist is my friend, since I have a few artworks where the characters on there are of my friend's characters, and I don't want to be making money off of my friend's characters. It just makes me feel a bit icky. Maybe it's my own moral standing, but fan art that isn't satire or parody, and artworks for Draw This in Your Style challenges that have other people's characters on it, I won't be selling any of those. Which is unfortunate because these artworks, I love these artworks. I really wanted to be able to sell these as prints and such, but I can't, since they contain characters that are not mine, that I don't own the rights for. But yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate thing. For me, it's a bit of a shame, since I really like those artworks. Another thing that I thought of when I was managing the shop for the first time was I actually closed commissions. I stopped doing all commissions at that time because for commissions, they're more of an active income source, and even though I can earn much more money from one commission versus one sale on Redbubble, I can only earn money from that commission once I'm finished with that artwork. I can't just take it and upload it on Redbubble to sell and earn money from it whenever I want, since it's a personal commission for someone who paid me, for a client, which most of the times aren't really of my characters either. So yeah, I've opted to just not do commissions at that time, not only because I was busy, but I also wanted to make the best use of my time whenever I could. Because drawing things for the shop, I could take that artwork, post it, create a speed paint for it, and have it up on the shop to sell and probably earn me money much more times than I can than just with one commission. Which sort of led me into this trap of creating a lot of simple artworks, which is something I'm trying to balance this year. So I'm trying to balance whether to create artwork for myself, for the Redbubble shop, or for commissions. I didn't do any commissions while the shop was running. Within the middle of the year, I think last year, they introduced account tiers where standard Redbubble accounts, I think, have to pay a monthly fee or something like that, depending on their sales. And that made me worry a bit because I'm already a really small artist on Redbubble. But when I took a look at my account, I was a Redbubble premium account, and I still am. I don't know how I managed to become premium. I don't know how that happened, but hey, at least I don't have any fees. But yeah, those were basically my first initial thoughts about Redbubble and my first impressions. If I have any more of these thoughts about Redbubble, more opinions on it, and if I actually have more experience, maybe I'll create another follow-up video to this one. But yeah, for now, as a very small artist, somewhat very new to Redbubble as well, those were my thoughts, and hopefully I might be able to revive the Redbubble shop this year. My statistics on Redbubble last year were very good in January of 2023, not so good during the middle of 2023, but then during November and December it started rising up again, and hopefully I might be able to revive it fully this year. We never know, but yeah. Those were my thoughts, and all of the artworks you've seen here you can get on my Redbubble via the link in the description below or on my TeePublic store. Which I can't really compare Redbubble to TeePublic, I've only been on TeePublic for less than a month. But yeah, if you're interested in getting any of these as products, feel free to visit my Redbubble shop via the links in the description below. And with that, I want to thank you for watching and have a great day.